methods that we discussed to build virtual machine.
Template.
Create a new VM directly. Cloning. Tower. Template. Yeah.
Template.
Template is a standard image to create a virtual machine. Thanks for that. So these three methods we have discussed, and which one will you prefer out of three?
Template.
Prepare template, sir.
Template. Thanks.
Template.
Okay. The fourth method is physical to virtual conversion. So there is a physical computer, physical server computer. With some Windows Server 2000, let's say older version of operating system and some application. As it is, customer wanted to migrate into customer premises as a virtual. Okay. Now, physical server with Windows operating system and application. So customer wanted to migrate as it is along with the data, OS and everything into virtual computer. Okay. So how to do that? There is a conversion tool available and there are some pre-checks that we need to do. Then initiate that converter tool, then convert. So there is a different process to follow it. Okay. We will discuss this physical to virtual during the advanced topics. Okay. How to convert a physical machine into virtual machine we will discuss later. So this way also a physical server will be converted as it is into virtual machine along with application and operating system as it is. It will be converted. Okay. So that we will see later, and the output will be a virtual machine. And OVA or OVF. These are called something like ready-made VMs. Okay. Open Virtual Archive. OVF is Open Virtualization Format. So it will be one file itself, and it will be 3 files. It's like something like ready-made VM. Somebody prepared this virtual machine for us. Okay. Very easy example to compare is okay. Our shirts. Like if you wanted a shirt, in older days we used to buy a cloth and then go to tailor, give your measurements, ask him to stitch a shirt for you as per your measurement. Nowadays we are not doing, right. We directly go to market. Based on the color and measurements that you like, you buy it. That means somebody already prepared that material, that product for you. Here also the same. Instead of, let's say, customer has an ESXi machine. Okay. So customer wanted to install some SAP application. We helped him to create a virtual machine with some operating system in it, Windows or Linux, whatever it is. Operating system we have installed and it's working fine, but now they want to install application. Okay, the SAP application installation is critical. It will take 4 to 5 hours to install the application itself, and if you don't select a correct option, the output will not be correct. While installation, if you don't select the correct option, it will be wrongly installed and the output also will not be correct. So that means you need some expert to install it. Whoever knows that application installation, you need to hire him or pay some extra money, ask him to install. For small companies, it will be too expensive hiring a consultant to install the applications. Or once at least, that's fine. But let's say what if they are growing tomorrow again, they need to install. It will be a problem again. Fine. It's it's expensive to set up their infrastructure. It's a waste. We will help them to create a virtual machine, but application installation we will not be aware. So there will be a separate separate team or experts they need to install it. If it is a small client, it will be expensive. Our client that we are working. That's why what they are doing, not only Linux, SAP, there are multiple applications across worldwide. Their installation process is critical. Okay, we need their experts who can install that specific applications. Okay. Now, to overcome these kind of problems, what vendors itself doing, the product vendor, that means SAP or Cisco, Oracle, whatever it is, whatever the product, their installation process is critical. Vendor example like SAP or Cisco. I'm taking example of just SAP and few like Cisco. Like there are many applications belongs to the same category. Their installation process is critical. They know that across worldwide, people are using VMware vCenter and ESXi to run their business applications. Okay, that means their applications are worldwide used 60 to 70% on VMware ESXi. That's why what they will do, right? They will ask their admins to create a virtual machine. Here also there will be VMware administrator like us. Like us will be there here. We will help them to set up virtual machine. And the SAP vendor, like Cisco vendor, they will install the application as per the instructions. So here it will be Linux OS or Windows OS, whatever it is, they need. And they will install the application as per the instruction. They know, they are vendors, right? They know how to install that respective application. They will install it properly. Now, if you can clone this virtual machine, okay, virtual machine in a sense, it will have multiple files, .vmx, .vmdk, okay, nvram. So multiple files will be there. .nvram like this. Virtual machine means all these files. Now, if you can clone this virtual machine from here to here, our infrastructure, our requirements will be fulfilled. Whatever the application that we need, it will be shipped here. If you clone from here to here. But cloning is possible within the vCenter only. Outside the vCenter, we cannot clone. Okay, this is a different customer vCenter. That is it. So it connected over internet. It's not possible to clone over the internet. Okay, it's not possible to clone over the internet. So cloning is possible within the vCenter only. Then how to bring this virtual machine into our client location? Okay. They have to copy all these files, one file at a time to the internet. We have to download one file at a time from the internet. So shipping of 7 to 8 files, nvram, vmdk, vswp, vmware.log file, all the log files that belongs to this VM should be shipped. During this transfer from here to here, if any of the file is corrupted, that means partially copied, not complete file, it's only half of the file is copied. Because of internet transfer, it is corrupted somewhere, only partial file is downloaded. The entire machine will not work. You have to copy again all the files. Okay, or whichever the file that is partially copied, that file. And we don't know where the file is. Looks like all the files are with same capacity as source, but they are not working here. అవి కనిపించడానికి సైజ్ ఏమో అన్ని ఒరిజినల్ గా అన్ని కనిపిస్తాయి, కానీ ఏ ఫైల్ హాఫ్ పార్షియల్ గా కాపీ అయిందో మనకు తెలియదు. పార్షియల్ కాపీ కూడా ఫుల్ కాపీ చూపిస్తుంది, ఫుల్ కెపాసిటీ చూపిస్తుంది. ఈ కండిషన్లో మనకి ఏ VM ఫుల్గా ఉందో తెలియదు, ఏ ఫైల్. సో అగైన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు కాపీ ఆల్ ద ఫైల్స్. Okay, that will be time. Failure chances will be more and time consuming. That's why VMware has a feature called compressing entire 6 to 7 files together into one single file. It's called Open Virtual Archive. Entire machine will be compressed into one file. Even in your personal laptop, like if you want to send some data, you will compress it. Like it will take some less space, so easy to transfer using your pen drives. Will compress, right? If you have more huge data, you compress it and take it. Here also the same. Instead of like copying the entire machine, compress this all files into one single file. Okay, so the output will be .ova. Name can be anything, SAP MM, okay, whatever, SAP ABAP, whatever it is, but the extension will be .ova, Open Virtual Archive. Now it is easy to ship one single file compared to 7 files. We have what as SAP vendors or like Cisco vendor, what they will do, right? They will put this file in one of the server which is connected to internet. OVA file. That means anybody who is connected to internet can download. It's a public. Okay. It's available for public. Anybody can directly from the internet can download. It's open to public. They know that their customers will be using this module. That's it. Along with this file, there will be on README file also. Even if you buy a mobile, they'll send one instruction manual how to use that mobile. If you buy a SIM also, they will give. So any product that you buy, there will be one instruction manual how to use that product. Here also the same. Along with OVA, there will be text files how to use this file, where it will work. Okay, README text file. Okay, like that. So now we downloaded that file from here to here, our vCenter, because we are connected to internet. So OVA file is downloaded here. Now using this OVA file, you don't need to create any virtual machine. So using this OVA file, again VMware administrators will extract as a virtual machine. Just from this OVA file, you import into our ESXi, a virtual machine will be automatically created here with whatever the Linux operating system was installed and with the application. Again, all the files will be .vmx, vmdk, all these files will be automatically created. Fine. Now, so now you no need of hiring the technical expert who can install that application. So it is installed as per vendor specifications. వీళ్ళు చెప్పిన ఈ వెండర్ ఏం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ అయితే ఇచ్చారో ఎలా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలో అలాగే ప్రాపర్గా ఇన్స్టాల్ అయ్యింది. ఇక్కడ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన మెషిన్ని మనం కాపీ చేసుకున్నాం కదా ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్స్టాల్డ్ యాజ్ పర్ ద వెండర్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ రెడీ టు యూస్. Just once you export this OVA into virtual machine, give one of the network address in your network and one password that you like. That's it. It's ready to use. Okay, somebody prepared this machine for you. It's a ready-made VM in our just own words. I'm saying. Dini? This is a VM, right? You can clone, you can create as a template, you can create. So even though this was like deployed from OVA, this is a VM, as usual a VM, there is no restriction. So you can clone, you can convert into template and use multiple times, you can use. Cloning is possible, we can do. Instead of cloning, better to use this OVA again deploy. Okay. Real time use cases, close it, but possible. Fine. Understood? The OVA or OVF. OVA is a single file. OVF, Open Virtualization Format. So this is it will be 3 files. When you export this entire virtual machine into OVA, it will be 1 file. If you export this entire virtual machine into OVF, it will be 3 files. Okay. So the three files will be named like this: .mf file, .vmdk, .ovf. Three files will be created. VMDK, we know that it's a hard disk file. MF, it will have all other configuration, .vmx, okay, NVRAM, all these files will be compressed and will be formatted as one single file, MF file. And to merge these two files together, ఈ రెండింటిని కలపడానికి ఒక file. To merge VMDK and MF file, configuration file together, we need one more OVF file. So if you export a virtual machine into OVF, it will be three files. If you export a virtual machine into OVA, one single file. OVA will work with only VMware technologies. Okay, that means from vCenter to vCenter only you can deploy. But OVF you can deploy in other virtualization formats also. It is applicable to use in other technologies also. Something like we have a competitor like Oracle VirtualBox, right? So this file you can deploy in Oracle VirtualBox also. It will work directly without any configuration changes. It will work. Okay, it works across virtualization platforms. OVF, open virtualization, open to any virtualization. Okay, that is one other advantage. Another advantage is, let's say after deploying, if it is not working, use this VMDK only and attach, create a manual VM and attach this hard disk to that VM. Manual ga unko VM create chesi daniki hard disk ani em pettadu, just empty VM. Use this hard disk to connect to that VM. It should work. Okay, ఒక VM క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం, దాంట్లో హార్డ్ డిస్క్ లేకుండా delete చేస్తాం, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ VM. గో టు ఎడిట్ సెట్టింగ్స్. ఈ వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ కి అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి, ర్యామ్, CPU, హార్డ్ డిస్క్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఉన్నాయి. బట్ ఈ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ని delete చేస్తాను, దీంట్లో ఏం లేదు డేటా, సో delete చేస్తాను. ఈ OVF ఫైల్ లో నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసిన హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ని అటాచ్ చేసుకుంటాను ఆ VM. హౌ టు అటాచ్? దెర్ ఈస్ అన్ ఆప్షన్ లైక్ యాడ్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ హార్డ్ డిస్క్. గో టు ఎడిట్ సెట్టింగ్స్, యాడ్ డివైస్, use existing hard disk. Already on a hard disk, that means the VMDK which is already available with us. Click on hard disk where it is, select that file wherever that file is located. Okay, like this it will display. Select that file and say okay. That hard disk will be attached here. అక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ని మనం సపరేట్ గా అటాచ్ చేస్తాం. ఎక్స్టర్నల్ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ కనెక్ట్ చేసినట్టు. యూజ్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ hard disk, add device, use existing hard disk. Okay, so that is also possible. So two advantages, you can use across virtualization, different virtualization products, and another one is if it is not working for some reason, you take this only VMDK and attach. In OVA it is not like that, right? It's a one single file, that OVA only, so we cannot split like this, and also we cannot use across virtualization programs. Any questions?
Small question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, ESXi minimum requirement is 2 GB, you said. 4 GB, sir. Maximum requirement, sir?
Maximum it's up to the hardware compatibility and the version that we are going to install. So let's say you are going to install ESXi 6.0. This ESXi 6.0 on a physical server, and it supports up to 6 terabyte. And ESXi 6.0 it supports 6 terabyte. So it's up to, depends on the hardware compatibility. ఇక్కడ ఉన్న సర్వర్ కూడా సపోర్ట్ చేయాలి 6 terabyte RAM. Maximum depends on the product. I'll give you that maximums later.
Okay.
In the vSAN, if you want to export as a OVA, so power of VM, right click on it, you'll see an option called template, export OVF template. Right now it is OVF only, so because it is open to across virtualization platforms, they are allowing only OVF. If you want to convert OVF to OVA, OVA to OVF, there is a separate tool, OVA tool available. So tool name itself called OVA. Say okay. Powered off virtual machine, right click on it, template option, export OVF template, and select destination where you want to place. You have to place it on a destination, right? Select, and so if you want to import again using OVF, if you want to create a VM, from the vCenter, right click on the ESXi cluster, deploy OVF template. Enter a name for the VM. Enter a name and select ESXi machine where you want to place, and storage as well. Here we need to give IP address, password. Basically Linux machines, it will ask to enter IP address and password here. If it is Windows machine, it will not ask here. You need to change later. Exporting a virtual machine into OVA and OVA to VM, vice versa. So here we will do this simple VM. Select this virtual machine, right click, template, export OVF template. What name? Let it be test56. Folder of files. Say okay. It will ask the location where you want to save. If your browser settings, if you have set it to every download you ask for a location, otherwise it will automatically download. So OVF is downloaded, .mf file is downloaded, there is no data in it, that's why VMDK is not downloaded. I think whether it has any hard disk or not first. No, that's why it did not download. MF, OVA, here you can see MF and OVF files are downloaded. There is no hard disk attached to that VM, that's why hard disk is not downloaded. I'll just add a simple hard disk so that we will see the complete VM. I'll download it again. I'll just first clear off all these files. Again, right click, template, export OVF. Let it be test56. OVF, VMDKC. All three files are downloaded. It depends on the data. Like it has no data, it's just a simple hard disk. It is downloaded quickly. If it has some data inside the hard disk, it will take some time. These all three files, the entire VM is compressed into three separate files now. We'll just keep it in one folder. OVF, MF and VMDK. Fine. Now using these files, we can create a virtual machine again. This is how like we export and importing. Select ESXi machine, right click, deploy OVF template. Deploy OVF template, it will ask where is that file. Okay, we have already downloaded, right? From internet also you can directly put that OVF file location also, internet file. But nobody will does this. Okay, nobody will basically use this. Download always and select the local files. On the desktop, you need to select all files at a time. Okay, 3 files selected. Next. Test 58. Same name it will not take because 56 is already there. Wherever you want to place, you select it. It will verify whether all the required hardware specifications are available or not. RAM, CPU, hard disk. It will validate for some time. So any questions meanwhile? Let it validate.
So, what VMs maximum?
1024.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes,
Like
please.
when we do cloning, like when we deploy from template and or when we do this OV and OVF, do we need to change? I mean, once it is done, do we need to change the BIOS ID?
No, no need to change.
Okay.
Okay, so we have seen 5 methods to create a virtual machine. The output of 5 methods is a virtual machine only. Either you create a direct VM, you clone it, template. From the template, you can create a VM from physical to virtual conversion or OVA to OVF. So the output will be a virtual machine. Okay. Once you create a virtual machine, so basically if you get a request, you will get like this: VM name, what OS they need, RAM, CPU, hard disk, and some cases network also, like this. You will get a request to build a virtual machine with these specifications. Okay. Now, when somebody requests your VM with these specifications, you have to deliver a virtual machine with the same specifications. You should not put any unnecessary data, and RAM, CPU, everything should be same. So you can use first method, cloning or template, whatever it is, or fourth and fifth. But output should not be having any unnecessary data. It should be have exactly the same data. Okay. So that means the fourth and fifth are situation specific. If customer is asking you to VM, converting a physical server into virtual machine, okay, it's not correct. Okay, if someone is asking you like create a virtual machine, deploy from OVA, and it will have that application also. It's an appliance, OS plus application also together shipped. But again, you need to remove that application, right? Customer wanted to use it for something else. You are shipping it with a different application. So these fourth and fifth are situation specific. Customer specially requesting you to convert a physical machine to virtual machine, you select P2V. He has a physical server in his data center and he is requesting you to convert into a virtual machine. You use P2V. Or application owner, application team or owner, whoever it is, they are giving you a OVA file and asking you to create a virtual machine out of it. They will not be aware of it. When application team contacts SAP, they will just give this OVA and they'll inform to the application team that you share it with your IT guys. They will help you to create a virtual machine with it will have application also in it. Okay, apart from that, they will not be aware of what is that OVA, how they will be deployed in VMware. And we know that process. If you get a URL to download OVA, or if they have already downloaded OVA, from that location, we can create a virtual machine. Sometimes they will give URL where to download the OVA. Sometimes they will download OVA and give. Depends on how the application team is aware of things here. Okay. Understood? Yeah. And those are situation specific, fourth and fifth. First three are our choice. If someone is asking you for a VM, we can select any one of the method out of first three. But preferred is, which method is preferred?
Template.
Template is preferred if we have a standard template, because it will have plain OS only and all the other standard settings are applied in it. So our work will be quick. If template is available, use the template. Fine, this method is preferred method in real time. Clear? And you can start working on the labs now. So start creating all these five, like fourth one you can skip. Remaining four methods, you can start working on the labs. Create new VM directly, clone, test template, and OVF also. Okay. So during our lab, did we install ESXi? Lab to some ESXi installation. Anybody remember? Covered here. From remote, can someone please confirm if you are completed with ESXi installation lab?
No, sir.
Sure? No. I don't remember, that's why I'm asking. No. Fine then. Any other questions?
So fourth and fifth, we're using how long take time, sir?
Depends, sir. Depends on the data. Let's say physical machine has 1 terabyte data. It will take 5 to 6 hours.
So the actual template we create in virtual machine, right?
Hmm.
So take only 50 minutes, right?
Yes.
So for the method we use how long take?
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the scenario. Like customer has a physical server, using from last 2 years, there is some data in it. Now you don't want to run that application on a physical server, you wanted to convert into VM. So it has already 1 terabyte of data. To convert into a VM, 1 terabyte physical server into a VM, it will take 5 to 6 hours. Depends on, if it has only 30 GB, maximum within 30 minutes also it will over. Depends on the data. And also network speed. Physical server, where let's say physical server is in Bangalore, your vCenter is in Hyderabad. Okay, if you convert from Bangalore to Hyderabad, network speed also matters. Even though it has a 10 GB, to copy over like very less internet speed, it will take time. So it depends. If it is in Bangalore data center itself, maximum 30 minutes it will be over. Okay, all this that we will consider during physical to virtual. We will discuss all those things. Fine. This validation is still going. Why? Is it connected to any ISO image? That will take basically. Yes, please.
It's like just like how we are doing for this VM. Can we move complete host itself, migration or deploying complete host? I mean, set of VMs. Like they want to deploy for 10 VMs at a time from this host. Then